It was last year when I first told you about the Volkswagen Group's SUV offensive for India, which was to be led by Skoda Auto India. Collectively, the VW Group brands Skoda, Volkswagen and Audi plan to launch at least 10 new SUVs in India within a 2-year period. And a bunch of them have already arrived. The Tiguan Allspace from Volkswagen, the Audi Q2, and these two. Two very important models that went on sale in India this year are the Skoda Karoq and the Volkswagen T-Roc.
So you know how you had the Rapid and the Vento? They were pretty much the same car with just a few things changed around to make them two different models. It's not the same story here with the T-Roc and the Karoq. These cars are, yes, built on the same platform. Yes, they share the same drivetrain, but there is a whole lot that still separates them. So while they're related, they're certainly not identical. And so today, this isn't a shootout. It's more about explaining to you how they are different.
Both SUVs are based on the versatile MQB platform, and both come to India as completely built units or CBU models. Yet they are priced reasonably competitively given that. Visually, both SUVs are miles apart from each other. The T-Roc is compact and gets a crossover-ish design. It's very stylish and urban. The Karoq is bigger and borrows its styling from Skoda's flagship SUV, the Kodiaq, which gives it the more conventional SUV proportion and stance. The Karoq is longer by 148mm, wider by 22mm, and taller by 51mm. Its wheelbase is also longer by 48mm, which ultimately translates to more cabin space, but I'll get to that in a bit. Both come with excellent paint finishes and build quality, and both also have LED headlights, LED daytime running lights or DRLs, LED tail lights, and chrome exterior detail, which highlights their premium appeal. The Karoq looks more muscular and, as I have said, has the SUV presence, while the T-Roc with its two-tone roof makes for more individual style and flair. Both cars get 17-inch dual-tone alloy wheels. Now let's get them on the road. Here as well, the two could not be more different.
You've just got to love the driving position and the steering on this car. It is very nice to drive, and the ride quality is sublime. It is really, really comfortable. You get a commanding view of the road, and what's more, a very typical SUV feel. Yes, when you're in the driver's seat, or even in any of the other seats for that matter, you really know that you are in an SUV, and I think the Karoq's big USP, especially when you compare it to its alter ego, is that. The Karoq is also very sporty and energetic in its feel. The only downside that comes from having the bigger, slightly heavier car is that the claimed mileage number is much lower than on the T-Roc.
Both SUVs are powered by the same 1.5-litre TSI turbocharged petrol engine, which is tuned to make about 148 brake horsepower and 250 Nm of peak torque. Both also come mated to a 7-speed DSG automatic transmission as standard. The engine likes to be revved hard, and peak power is achieved somewhere around 6,000 RPM, while torque kicks in from as low as 1,500 RPM going all the way to 3,000. That gives you good low and mid-range performance.
So here too, it's quite obvious that the whole focus is on comfort. You really have great ride quality. It's a very smooth and refined experience, the way the gearbox and the engine perform as well. But the big difference is how the car feels. You really feel like you're driving a car, a sedan or a hatch, not so much an SUV. And I think that's a huge difference in characteristic. It's something that a lot of people who are accustomed to driving smaller, compact cars or even sedans will actually appreciate about the T-Roc. And it's a good thing in a way that it has such a different character then to the Karoq.
So yes, the T-Roc feels sportier, while the Karoq has the commanding SUV feel on the road. And some of that gets enhanced by the way the cabin feels in each of them too. So yeah, you'll get a true sense of the difference between the two SUVs once you'll step inside their respective cabins. The larger proportions of the Karoq are apparent in its very spacious cabin. It feels airier as well because of its larger windows and the panoramic sunroof that extends all the way up to the rear seats. The dash is minimalistic and the equipment feels well configured to match the big SUV feel. The space inside the T-Roc is certainly more constrained by comparison. The seating angles are pretty much similar, but the Karoq gets more premium upholstery along with better bolstered seats. Both get adjustable headrests and 3-point seatbelts for all 5 passengers. The functionality and other in-car operations are similar in both cars. However, you might like the pictorial color display on the Karoq a bit more compared to the slightly more conventional infotainment system on the T-Roc. Similarly, the layout of the instrument cluster is more dynamic, but the T-Roc does get a variety of wider or less detailed displays in its virtual cluster. In terms of safety features, the Karoq gets 9 airbags while the T-Roc gets only 6, and while both offer rear parking camera, neither of them come with dynamic guidelines. The T-Roc, however, also comes with hotkeys for SOS and roadside assistance. The Karoq gets an electrically adjustable driver seat and fatigue alert. The Skoda Karoq is about 5 lakh rupees more expensive than the Volkswagen T-Roc, and that is not a small amount. However, the Karoq is bigger, it offers more cabin space and more premium creature comforts. So while the Karoq does make a strong case for itself, Skoda could have been a bit more aggressive on the pricing, given the fact that this is the only compact SUV in its portfolio right now, and the competition is tough. So if you want a bigger feeling premium SUV with most of the latest bells and whistles and a powerful turbo petrol engine, then the Karoq is worth considering. However, if you do not mind missing out on a few creature comforts and are looking for a premium SUV with a car-like driving ease and a lot of style, and at around the 20 lakh price point, the T-Roc would be a wiser choice.